FightSaga.com and Halftime Pizza proudly present Real Talk with boxing professional Rick Glaser.
Guys, welcome. Happy Monday to all of you. Well, I hope all of you guys, everyone who's listening and everyone who listens to the replay, well, I hope you guys had a great start to your work week. Guys, we're capping it off with a conversation with our very dear friend, the incomparable Big Rick Glaser. Rick, how you doing tonight, sir?
Good, Joe. Good, G-Funk. Everything's fine.
Guys, right on. And yes, I would be remiss if I didn't introduce my co-host for the evening. Guy's going to be doing, well, most of the heavy lifting tonight. And that's my brother, G Funky Boxing. G, welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you for having me. And hey, once again, man, fantastic song in the intro, man. Great melody. I love the drum fills there. And
thank you.
It's great, man.
Thank you, guys. And if you're interested, it's going to be released next week. It's my son's band, Roshi, R-O-S-H-I-I, and the song's called New Mexico. And it's going to be available on Spotify, Pandora, and YouTube. Yep, as well as iHeartMusic and all that other stuff. But I tell you what, Rick, we have a lot to cover. In the immortal words of Jerry Reed of Smokey and the Bandit fame, we've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. So, first of all, how's your week been, brother? How was your weekend? Did you enjoy all the fights? What do you have planned for this week, brother, besides watching your Yankees beat up on the Anaheim Angels?
No, they're terrible. The Yankees are playing shitty. But just took the wife out for dinner a couple times. Didn't do much. Stayed out of the heat during the day. Went out a little at night. And just relaxed. Nothing really exciting. It was a good fight Saturday night. Frank Martin makes a lot of mistakes. He fought nothing. He fought wasn't the greatest thing on 2 feet. And he gave him all kinds of trouble. And he had to come back the last 3 rounds to win the fight. So, including a knockdown.
Yeah, that was Artem Harutyunyan. Now, once again, you can pronounce it like the Armenians do, Harutyunyan. Or you can pronounce it like Teddy Atlas, Harutyunyan. So, it's up to you guys, whatever you prefer. Well, I will say this, guys. Still, anyone who's watching the replay, please disregard the number. Don't bother calling to anyone who's watching it live. Please call up that number, 916-572-1020, and ask Rick Glaser anything you feel free. Anything you want. Once again, we are here for you guys, and Rick Glaser tonight is on loan for you guys for the next 60 minutes. How do you like that? Woo-hoo!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But let's get started. Brother, do you have the tweets up at your disposal, G Funky?
Yes, sir. I sure
Here
do,
we go.
Man. Maybe, just maybe, it's time for Rick Glaser's Twitter watch. Bang!
Ah, yes. Thank you, Mr. Atlas. Always appreciate your help. Okay, Rick. First tweet we have here from July 17th, 2023 at 3:52 a.m. Hashtag boxing enthusiasts. 1 week from today starts hashtag Spence Crawford fight week in hashtag Vegas. That's all you need to know. So far, there's been no hype except Showtime's All Access, where you can clearly see it's all about hashtag Spence, like hashtag Crawford, some flunky. Hashtag Showtime should be shamed. Rick, let's go deep into that. What did you mean by that?
Yeah.
You're treating Spence like Crawford like a nobody. And he's a sitting world champ, undefeated 3-division world champ on his way to the Hall of Fame. They're treating him like a jerk off. They should be ashamed of themselves.
Funny how, Rick? No, I'm kidding. So, how, like, what do you mean, like a jerk off? How? Like, I don't understand. Like, honestly,
I've seen given both. Many airtime.
Well, I've seen both All Accesses, and yes, you're right. It's been mostly about Spence, but It's been completely intriguing, and they've got me. Like, if I weren't already enthralled with this matchup, I'm hooked. I've loved both episodes of All Access. I think they've been great. In fact, I'll say it now, brother. I think it should be given an Emmy. It's been so good. It's been reminiscent of the old Ross Greenberg countdown specials or 24/7s. You don't think so, sir?
Well, from that standpoint, yes, but it doesn't change the fact that it's they give Crawford so much little airtime on there. It's just a joke. I mean, it's embarrassing. Seriously.
Man, you know,
Wow.
I got to be honest with you guys. I haven't watched either episode yet. I just haven't had the extra time this week. So maybe tonight, man, when the old lady goes to bed, I'll put it on because you know, I have on demand so I can watch it anytime. So I'll check it out, man, and give you guys my thoughts next week.
Well, now, once again, guys, Big Rick is speaking from an unbiased spectator, right, when he's looking at this and he's referring to it. So, yeah, I'd be interested to see what the Spence fans seem to think or what the Terrence Crawford fans seem to think. But as an unbiased member of this, working member of this business, yeah, that's quite alarming. So you think the coverage has been heavily in favor of Spence. And do you think that's why... how do you think it's affecting the promotion of this event?
Well, I don't know if it's going to. Whether it does good or bad, it will affect it. I don't know that, but it's just not the way you do things. I mean, it's not right. I mean, this is a fight that Spence is favored by the bookmaker. I mean, Crawford's favored by the bookmakers. He's a sitting world champ. He's undefeated. He's a 3-division world champ, and here's a guy they're treating him like an afterthought. You know what I mean? Like he's like the redheaded pregnant half stepsister.
The redheaded stepchild. I love that.
They're treating him like Malachi on Children of the Corn. Yes.
Oh,
damn.
just not good. You know, it's not right, and that's just the way it is. You know.
So, Rick, are you a bit surprised that the promotion hasn't been more, considering that Showtime is on the hook? 20 million rock for this thing.
I mean, they never get any cooperation out of CBS, even though it's a sister company.
Agreed.
I mean, it is what it is. It's just how they operate. You know, they don't get a lot of PR for their shows.
So what would you do differently, sir?
What would I do differently?
Yes, sir.
What would I do differently than they're doing?
Yes, sir.
I would have sort of did a barter deal with advertising space for ESPN, where all the sports fans go on, and I would have done a barter deal, and in lieu of that, you had them go on some of the shows and stuff like that, on some of the ESPN shows and all that kind of stuff, and they didn't do no barter deal, and they didn't do anything. So, you know, they're relying on people to get premium TV that know about this fight, is basically speaking, except for the diehard boxing fan. When you're paying out $20 million and you need all those buys to turn a profit, you need to reach the general consumer, the general sporting fan, and they're not doing it with this. Because don't forget, the only ones that are watching All Access really are ones that get Showtime.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and now you guys
good.
got me. Now you guys got me wanting to see it. So definitely, I'll take some time.
Oh, you should.
Check it out tonight.
It's brilliant, G Funky. It's brilliant. You're gonna love it. And once again, what's your favorite football team, brother?
The Dallas Cowboys.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. They show Master Yoda, Jerry Jones, and he says, "Well, you know, I think Errol Spence Jr. is cut from that same cloth as a Dallas Cowboy, and I think he could have easily been a Dallas Cowboy had he not entered the plight of trying to win a world championship in boxing." So yes, they make him an honorary cowboy in episode 1, baby. Woo!
Oh man, that's
Yes.
nice, man. I'm definitely going to check that out now. So let's head on to the next tweet now. But guys in the chat, don't be afraid, man. Call in. All right, Rick is here. He's
Hold
given
on.
us his time, and he's ready to answer any questions that you guys got. Don't be afraid to get glazed one time. All right.
Hold on. Here we go. Let me do this again, brother.
Maybe, just maybe, it's time for Rick Glaser's Twitter watch. Bang!
Ah, yes. Always a pleasure, Teddy. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Second tweet now. This comes from July 16th, 2023 at 12:08 a.m. And I quote, after the release of Arnold Barbosa Jr. by Top Rank, it's very apparent that Top Rank is no longer acting as a boxing promoter would. They now act, and are in actuality really a content provider for Disney-owned ESPN platforms. Top Rank went from the most successful promotional boxing company in history to a company now run by corporate America type executives and no longer by real boxing guys. Top Rank has quietly become corporate America, and that's not a good thing. Just ask Arnold Barbosa. So, Big Rick, let's hear you go a little bit further into that tweet and let the fans know out there.
There's nothing further about it. It's self-explanatory. They're not running it like a boxing company. They're running it as a corporate America, providing content for ESPN. And, and fighters that sign up with them should be leery. They just cut you loose. Okay? And they cut Arnold Barbosa loose. I mean, come on. Guy was number one contender, undefeated, and they cut him. They put 8 years into him, and boom.
Yeah, he's currently the number one according to the WBO rankings.
Who's his management, Big Rick? Because maybe his management team is a pain in the ass to work with. That's happened before.
Rick Marighi?
No, they've got a great working relationship with Rick. Are you serious?
Yep.
Wow. So perhaps you're right. Maybe this has to do with all of the Disney cutbacks. Dun, dun, dun.
No, nothing to do with it all.
Then I don't understand this move. Is he just not a big ticket seller? Have they not done a good job of maybe building that home base like they have with Shakur Stevenson or like they're doing right now with Jared Anderson? What do you think in your mind? What do you think this is? And can you please further explain the kind of what this has to do with Disney or ESPN?
Well, they're a content provider that they have exclusive rights to all Disney platforms when it comes to boxing, and that's what they're doing now. That's what they've been doing for 7 years. But now they've gone from a boxing organization to corporate America, and that's what they're running. Everything on budgets and just not the same anymore.
Man,
they probably had too many fighters or interfered with the budget. And he was probably one of them they could cut loose when he did.
Yeah, that's tough, man. And again, like you said, undefeated. They put a lot of years into him, and yeah, just to tell him to go.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Man, that's brutal. That is brutal.
Chingao.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, it's my turn now, brother. It's my turn.
Maybe,
come on, give it to him, Teddy.
Just maybe, it's time for Rick Glaser's Twitter watch. Bang!
Hello?
Oh, you there, Joe?
Oh, shoot.
Looks like he might be having some internet issues here, Big Rick. Joe, can you hear us?
Hold on. Can you hear me now, guys?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, very good. Thank you, guys. My apologies. So here's tweet number 3, Big Rick. Now, this was on July 14th. Let's see. Let me get the exact time, guys. At 7:36 p.m. And this was a response to Eddie Hearn saying, well, Fury versus Ngannou is terrible for boxing. And he said, quote, if Eddie was promoting Fury and Ngannou, it would be the greatest fight of all time. Eddie is now firmly boxing's #1 hypocrite, far surpassing the former number 1 hypocrite, Lou DiBella, as DiBella has settled into number 2, but not without a fight. Look, Big Rick just admitted. Big Lou DiBella is not the number 1 hypocrite because he doesn't have nearly as many opportunities to put his foot in his mouth as Eddie Hearn does currently. Right?
Yep.
That's it. But come on, expound. Now, how would Eddie Hearn be promoting Fury and Ngannou if he were the lead promoter and not Frank Warren?
As the greatest fight on earth. A battle of sports, cultures, color, creed. He'd go crazy over this. He'd love it. And
Yep.
he tried to, didn't he try to make Joshua and Ngannou earlier this year or late last year or something?
Yep. He sure did.
It was all right for him to do that, but not for Frank Warren to do this.
Well, you know, he is a used car salesman, my friend. Come on now. But I tell you what, guys, go ahead. Go ahead, G.
A comment in the chat by one of my good subscribers as well, and has a good channel himself, Team Batman Boxer, who says Eddie was on the MMA Hour saying Francis versus AJ would be a huge fight. So yeah, you're right, Mr. Rick. He's definitely a hypocrite with that one.
Yeah. Are you? No, I'm sorry. Maybe it's my old age kicking in. What did you just say, brother? He's what?
It's terrible.
Yeah. And there it is, guys. And there it is. I want to give a shout out to my brother Bruce, Gas Boxing, Jazz and More. Salute Joe, G Funky, and Slick Rick.
Yes,
sir. Thank you for always supporting Rick Glaser on Monday. And also want to welcome Junior Smile. If Disney is trying to save money, that means we all should too. Ouch. Chingao. I also want to welcome our brother Sly Tendencies, Rick, out here glazing these liars. And there it is. And there it is. Oh my gosh. Junior Smile also says this. We're putting Bud on a milk carton after July 29th, after he goes missing. I think you mean his fans. You're going to hear a lot of silence from either side, whoever loses, right? From the Hatfield and McCoys of boxing. Also want to welcome our brother, EJ Electrojet. Hey there, Joseph. Salute to the panel. Thank you for supporting Big Rick this Monday, brother. And guys, if you haven't already, please go subscribe to my brother, EJ. And thank you, Junior Smile. We appreciate you being here, my friend. God bless you, brother. Also want to give a big shout out to the brother, the GOAT, Mario P. Thank you for supporting Big Rick Glaser. And if you have a question, guys, and if you have a question, guys, well, and Team Batman Boxing says, glad I found your channel. Heard you on a few shows. Always a good listen. Subbed. Thank you, guys. And don't forget to hit the like button and sub. Thank you very much. Also, my brother, Andrew Charles. Salute, fellas. Thank you for always supporting Big Rick on Monday. And don't forget, guys, that number to call in, 916-572-1020. But, guys, it's 20 minutes in, and we're going to stop this segment. If you guys want to call in, we'll interrupt it because your voice is the most important. But as of right now, though, here we go. Floyd, the honors, please.
Hey, we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for Fact or Fiction.
Thank you so much, Floyd. Thank you so much, man. All right. Fact or Fiction time with Rick. Number 1. Here we go. The rematch clause within the Fury and Ngannou fight contract will be proven a moot point, but will help sell the event to a much larger mainstream and casual demographic who will purchase, believing it will be competitive fight. Fact or fiction, Rick?
I don't think fans think like that, but it does. But I don't think, as a general rule, fans think like that.
Well, boxing fans, like the diehard fans, or the mainstream and casual demographic, sir?
He's talking about me. He said mainstream casuals.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you don't think they will see anything into that?
No.
So that's just something. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
That's just something else. Something else. The Fury protecting himself. I think that's all. I don't. I don't blame Fury for that. So
So, do you
Yeah.
think diehard fans are just picking at this? You don't think it's you think it's a moot point, and neither here nor there?
nah, means nothing as far as the general sports fan. Boxing fans know about these things, but the general sports fan doesn't know a rematch clause they don't know a fish hook from a left hook. Come on, you
Yep.
know.
And fish hook from a left hook. I love the verbiage. Love that. Bruce says neither Hearns or Leonard lost fans. Real boxing fans will remain unshaken. And
Yep.
we want to welcome Super Funk Master to the show. Thank you,
Hey.
Funk Master G. He says, do you guys think, or Big Rick, do you think Inoue not having faced a different slick black American style will cause him problems?
Yeah, for about two rounds until he's got a very high ring IQ for about 2 rounds it will, and then he'll start walking him down and shit like that.
Hmm.
Inoue's a
Wow.
great pressure fighter, man, for sure.
What is your official prediction for this fight? Now it's going to be on July 25th. That's Tuesday, right? And it's going to be aired 6 a.m. your time, Big Rick. What's your official prediction?
I think that Nui wins. It's just a matter of how. I don't see the other guy winning. I just don't. This guy Nui's beaten every champion he's fought at 12, 15, 18. Now he's conquering 22. And he seems to be moving up, bringing the power up with him. He brings the speed up no matter what. And I just think he's, the real, they don't call him the monster for nothing. They don't call Fulton the monster, do they?
No, they don't. With
Sure
8
don't.
knockouts on his resume, no, they don't.
No.
So before we get to your question, Bruce, we want to welcome our brother and thank our brother Slack Entities for the super chat. Thank you, sir. It says, Mr. Glaser, did Usyk make a mistake by signing with the Skills Challenge? He's only getting $6 million in Poland. White got that much, losing to Fury. He actually made more. But Rick, would you like to explain why this is kind of incorrect?
It's not a
right?
big. The fight was made. That fight was made before he signed with Skill Promotions. It was a mandatory. It went to purse bid, and that was already a done deal. So that's no mistake, and he'll do well with skill. They're in the heavyweight division. They're in the heavyweight business, I should say, and they've got the country of Saudi Arabia, and that's government money and oil money, and they got money to throw around, and it makes sense. The whole thing makes sense.
So, Rick, in your opinion, is there any way that Usyk Fury doesn't happen for January or February of next year?
Well, if it doesn't happen, I'm going to have to blame Fury at this point, because Usyk has a reputation of going around the world and fighting everybody and anybody. So I'd have to blame it on Fury, unless there's just not enough money to go around. But he may want more money than's printable. Who knows with this guy?
So I'm going to ask you this again. In your opinion, is there any way this fight doesn't happen?
I think it does happen. I think it does. I think there's going to be so much money involved that whether he wins or loses, it's going to be, it's not generational wealth. I guess you call it generational wealth. $300-400 million for this guy, probably in that area, somewhere. So you'd have to.
Yeah.
How could you not? Imagine what he's getting for this fight with this MMA guy, and how much he's already made. And I mean, come on.
Yep. That's it. I tell you what, though, Bruce has a question for you, Big Rick. Rick, who do you think has the better training camp, Bud with Bomac or Spence with Derek James?
Well, I can't really say because I'm not in the camp, but Spence is always, Crawford is always in shape in between fights, and Bomac does bring in good sparring for him. So that's not the issue. They're training in Colorado Springs. That's high altitude.
Mhm.
I would say, and the problem with Spence is, in recent years, from what I'm told, he spends too much time trying to lose weight and get in shape, and not honing boxing skills. And I think that, if the going gets rough in this fight, and it's a grind down fight, he's the one that's, I think that Crawford's going to be in better shape than him, because he's always in great shape, and
Yep.
he fine tunes himself in camp, while the other guy gets in there and tries to lose weight,
Yep.
and
You know
he's
what?
out of shape in between fights, and the drinking's not going to help. The car accident ain't going to help. I mean, Jesus.
Well, you know
Yeah.
what? And Big Rick has the beat. He's an old school guy and understands that the higher altitude usually equates to better condition in the ring. Yeah. And, well, advantage Team Crawford. Yep. I agree wholeheartedly, Big Rick. It's a very good point. Thank you for bringing that up, my friend. So let's get back to.
Hey, we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for fact or fiction.
All right, Floyd. Here's number 2. Jake Paul being on the cover of Sports Illustrated is further proof that Paul Diaz will double Spence Crawford's pay-per-view purchases. Fact or fiction, Rick?
I'm not saying double it, but it'll probably do 35% more, about a third more, probably.
Oh, but doesn't that just say it all, Big Rick? Jake Paul on the cover of Sports Illustrated when we've got the fight of the decade, conceivably, between Spence versus Crawford for undisputed supremacy at 147. And Jake Paul's on the cover.
Yep, I know. I agree.
And I think it's a big product of the quote unquote hardcores out there who just don't support the sport the way that they should. They've drawn lines in the sand about what promotional companies that they will support and won't support. Just awful. I mean, guys, you have to support the sport, man. Watch it no matter what. I don't hear these other fans from these other sports saying, like Rick's a big Yankee fan, right? I don't think Rick would ever say, you know what? If this game's not on NBC or Fox or whatever, I'm not watching it. Like, that's the way some of these boxing fans think today, man. That's terrible, man.
I can't even conceive that. That's terrible. That is absolutely terrible. Look,
we should say like Charles Barkley. That's terrible.
Man, that's just terrible, man. The chicks in San Antonio are just too damn fat. Yep. And I'm from San Antonio. I agree with that. But you know what? There's a lot to be said for that much love. And that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Woo! I tell you what. Oh, shoot. Here it comes. Big Rick. Them LDBC flunkies shook. Yeah, they're not calling in right now, are they? They're not calling into Big Rick. They know better, because when you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Get the horns every time.
Woo! I tell you what. Hold on. Sly has the beat here. Hold on. Rick, do you think Frank Martin won on Saturday night?
He won. I thought he won by 1 point. I thought the knockdown was the difference. I thought it was 6 in rounds, and the 1 point. 114, 113 was a good score.
Very close fight. I agree. Although I had Hanatunim, hopefully I didn't butcher that, winning. But I mean, you can't really get upset because the fight was very close. Could have went to either guy. So I agree, Rick. Good close fight. I wouldn't mind seeing the fight again, but I doubt that we see it again.
Let me ask you something, Rick. Junior Smile has a comment. Says, Buds fans don't support pay-per-view. Hella poor. But according to the numbers and the handicappers, looks like most of the money is being placed on Bud. Would you say it's the adverse that Spence fans don't support pay-per-view? What's your thoughts on that, brother?
I don't think that I've never heard of a Crawford fight saying they stole the pay-per-view, but I keep hearing LDBCers and Haymanites say they stole the pay-per-view. So there's your answer right there.
There it is.
Those are Spence fans.
Joseph Heron with the assist.
There it is. All net. All net. All right.
Number 3.
Thank you, Teddy. Number 3. Although Anthony Joshua sounds like his old aggressive mindset from 10 years ago, under the tutelage of Derek James, fans will once again see the tentative version of AJ against Dillian White. Fact or fiction, Rick?
I didn't understand the question.
Repeat one more time, sir, please. Thank you.
All right, one more time. Although Anthony Joshua sounds like he has his old aggressive mindset from 10 years ago, under the tutelage of Derek James, fans once again will see the tentative version of AJ against Dillian White. Fact or fiction?
Yeah, it's a fact. They'll see the same kind of. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. You may be able to teach him, but he won't employ them in a fight. They'll just revert back to being AJ.
Look, do you think AJ suffers from what I call Vladimir Klitschko syndrome, in which after being rocked to the core, you just he's Humpty Dumpty now, Rick.
Yep.
Yep.
That's how you do.
Oh boy. Sorry, AJ fans.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder how that's going to affect his approach if the Deontay Wilder fight becomes a reality. Rick, do you think that fight materializes next year?
Yeah, probably does.
Ouch. Who you like in that fight, sir? Senor.
Wilder, probably Wilder right about now. Probably.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We want to welcome Hard Times Boxing to the show. He says, I'm a Bud fan and I'm pay-per-viewing it. I don't steal fights. Wasn't it Spence who said he uses a fire stick? Ouch.
Yep.
He did say that.
He did say that. He did say that.
Oh, man. Yeah, he said, I ain't supporting no pay-per-view.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Ouch.
No, go home and get your fucking fire stick.
All right,
Excuse
man.
me,
Let's
guys.
roll on.
Excuse me, guys. I've got bronchitis, so if I sound like the Crypt Keeper when I'm laughing, please forgive me. Right? But hey, 4-5, senor.
All right, number 4 for Big Rick. Earl Spence will be proven correct when he states there won't be a rematch with Bud Crawford. We're getting a phone call, so let's go ahead and take the phone call.
Let's put this one on hold. Let's get the phone call, brother. Go ahead and put him in, my friend. Well, I tell you what, Wild G Funky is
all right.
Indeed.
We got him.
We got.
I believe this is Sly Tendencies on the line, correct?
Woo!
Hey,
Brother Sly, what do you have for Big Rick
me
Glaser,
okay?
my friend? We can hear you just fine, sir.
What's
What do you
going
have
on,
for
man?
Big Rick Glaser tonight, brother?
yeah, I was going to ask Rick. You know, they were talking about. I know that it's mostly rumors, but I heard Eddie Hearn saying that if Anthony Joshua beats White, he gets the Wilder fight in December. And do you think that there's a scenario possible where if Wilder beats Joshua and Fury beats Usyk, that they would do another fight, a fourth fight?
I don't know. It'd be a tough sell.
I agree.
It'd be a tough sell.
Go ahead, Sly.
Go ahead, Sly.
I was gonna say I would watch it. I would pick Fury, but how many times can you play with fire? You know what I mean? Like Wilder's got. I think Fury could beat him, obviously, but you know, you play with fire too much. Like how many of those big hits, big right hands could you take? You know?
Yeah, Rick, that's a very, very interesting point, Sly. Do you think fourth time would be a charm for Deontay Wilder, or do you think just Fury has Deontay's number at this point?
I don't know. I just think that Fury's just got too much ring IQ over Wilder. Wilder's a a swing and a miss guy, and the other guy's real smooth and super high ring IQ. Fury does, and I just think it's I think we see the same thing all over again.
Oh
Yep.
boy.
I agree, man. And like
I heard you guys.
Oh, go ahead, Sly. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I agree with Rick's point that I mean it'd be hard to sell. He's already stopped the guy twice. The last time he knocked him out, he landed flat on his face. Yeah, and we definitely know at this point who the much better fighter is. But go ahead, Sly.
I was gonna say, I heard a rumor that he didn't even train for the third fight.
You know, I heard something similar to that too. Didn't he have he had a baby right in the middle of his training
Yes,
camp?
yes, he did.
Something about his daughter or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, daughter with a very complicated. Was going through some adversity, right? When she was born, and so yeah, his devotion, his time was focused with his wife and with his daughter, and so yeah, their camp virtually, like, and I'm not joking. Upon speaking with Sugar Hill, it was about 3.5 weeks in preparation for the third Deontay Wilder fight, which is why, well, he came in weighing at a whopping 270, right?
Yep.
So
big.
let me ask you something, Big Rick. While we're on this topic, and guys, I'm getting Sugar Hill, my brother Javen Sugar Hill Stewart. He's going to be on the show later on this week to clear up all the misconceptions regarding John Fury, regarding Tyson Fury. But Big Rick, what do you make of all of this dissension between John Fury and Sugar Hill Stewart? And this can't be good for Tyson Fury. What is?
I think Tyson Fury's the kind of guy who's completely unaffected by it.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
That's a response I was looking for, and we're going to hear from my brother Javen coming up later on this week.
Oh, that's fantastic,
guys! That's going to be exclusive to Warwick Radio. Thank you very much.
It's like anything else you want to add before we let you go?
Yeah, I'll make this quick. So I read your article, Joe, about the breakdown between Fury and Usyk and stuff. And the question I have is, why do you think that the internet is like when we were little kids? When I was in school, we did that Dixie game, where you tell somebody something and they tell it to the next person, and by the time it gets back to you, it's totally different from what. Why do you think that people on the internet are just so gullible? They'll believe, like, if you love AJ, you'll just believe anything bad about Fury, and if you love, you know what I mean? Why do you think people are so gullible these days? Master
Rick, would you like the honors for that one?
I don't know. People are just stupid. What can I tell you?
That is the correct answer.
I'll take it. Thanks, guys.
Hey, thank
Take
you for
it to
the call
the bank, brother.
and the super chat, Sly. We appreciate it. Have a good
You
one.
guys.
God bless you, Sly. Thank you, man. Enjoy the program, brother.
Hey,
Thank you
first
for being a
caller
part of the
night.
show.
Let's give him a hand.
Oh, boy. And what an answer from Big Rick. Oh,
Hey,
tell
brutal.
you what,
Brutally
the gospel according to Ricardo Glaser.
Hey, we ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for fact or fiction.
All right, number 4 here on Fact or Fiction. Earl Spence will be proven correct when he states there won't be a rematch with Bud Crawford, but not for reasons he believes. There won't be a rematch because it will prove to be a financial flop, losing millions and attracting a mere 300K pay-per-view purchases. Fact or fiction?
I'm not sure on the question. What's the question? I don't know if I did Joel out or what, but I missed some of the question. Obviously.
Okay, well
Repeat the question.
let me try reading it, sir.
Okay.
Number 4, fact or fiction. Errol Spence Jr. will be proven correct when he states there won't be a rematch with Bud Crawford, but not for the reasons he believes. There won't be a rematch
right.
because it'll prove to
won't.
be a financial flop.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. Yes.
Oh boy. So in your infinite wisdom, my friend, and your knowledge of the business, And once again, guys, if you didn't know, now you know. Rick is a legit guy, and he's been in this business, enthralled in it, entrenched for the past, 36 years, sir?
32, you bastard. Don't make me older than I am. Son of a bitch.
Oy vey. My apologies, my brother. 32. 32. So, in your infinite wisdom, my friend, how many pay-per-view purchases does Spence Crawford achieve?
Between 5 and 550.
Really?
Yep.
Well, then that's
Why?
actually going to break even, because from the research team, right, of Showtime and Steven Espinosa, that's why they capped it at 20 million guaranteed. They plan to break even if it crosses that $500,000 threshold, or my apologies, 500,000 purchase threshold.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
You know what, Rick? Honestly,
I think Showtime would take that.
yeah, Showtime will take that all day long. But I will say this. I think you're being nice. I think you're giving most diehard fans a lot more credit than they deserve. Now, once again, I'm not referring to our extended Warwick Radio family members. You guys are awesome, and I know you guys are going to purchase the fight or support the businesses that actually are showing the fight, like Dave & Buster's. Guys, and if you're in the South Texas, San Antonio area on July 29th, I'm hosting at the San Antonio Dave & Buster's on the intersection of I-10 and 410. I'm going to be hosting a fight party at Dave & Buster's with South Park Boxing and AAA Promotions, with all of my fighters. We're going to be doing live commentary throughout the event, and we're going to be doing live commentary in between rounds. How do you like that? So come out, and the cover is only $10, guys. No excuse.
But you better announce the place has got real good air conditioning.
Woo!
Yes.
Well, I will say
sounds like
this.
a great time, though, man. Sounds like a great time.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun, guys! And I'm gonna be wearing my ring announcer tux, and I'm gonna be doing all of my ring announcer impressions. Jimmy Lennon Jr., Michael Buffer, Lupe Contreras. Yes, sir. So come out and say hi if you're in the San Antonio area. Yeah, it's going to be a great event. We'll also be giving away T-shirts, tickets to the August 26th event in San Antonio. So there it is. I had to plug my event, my friend.
Yeah, well, I've always been a big fan of Jimmy Lennon. He's all class. So let's hear a little Jimmy if you can.
All right, let's do it. Well, shit. Which fighter? Name a fighter.
Let's do the Crawford Spence.
All right. Introducing from Omaha, Nebraska, Terrence Bud Crawford. Oh, I'm so sorry. I've got bronchitis. My apologies, guys. Hopefully it'll be cleared up by the 29th. But yeah, I love Jimmy Lennon.
I wonder what the problem was.
Oh, Chingao. Yeah, dude. It's hard for me to push air right now. So you're getting all throat right now, guys.
Fight
but
fans, here we go. I love that.
Fight fans, here we go. It's time for the main event of the evening. Yeah, I still can't do it right. I'm not pushing as much air. My apologies, guys.
Jimmy's all class, man. I love him, man. He's the
I
best
love
in the business.
Jimmy. Yep. He is the very best in the business. You know what? It's amazing. Yeah, you can safely say Michael Buffer is pretty much retired at this point. Wouldn't you say, Rick?
Yeah, he comes out, does a special appearance once in a while, but he's basically not doing too much now.
You want to hear a funny story that Emmanuel told me with Michael Buffer?
Yep.
No. Here it is. It's like Emmanuel. And if you guys didn't know, Emmanuel, he found Michael Buffer, right? He was just a regional ring announcer, right? Before he introduced him to HBO, right? And he goes, look, Michael's my guy. But I honestly, I didn't know about him. I thought he was a little light in the loafers. But when we were traveling like throughout Germany, man, let me tell you something. Women love that guy, Michael Buffer. Let me tell you, and I came to realize that Michael Buffer loves women too. In fact, before he got married, he got more ass than a toilet.
Oh,
And that's a true story. That's a true story. Emmanuel told me that. Yeah. That he thought Michael Buffer, well, swung the other way, played for the visiting team. Yeah. Yeah. True story, guys. True story.
Oh, God bless Emmanuel. God bless Emmanuel.
Hey, Rick, do you have a favorite Emmanuel Stewart story that you can actually tell us on the air?
I told you the one about the
No. I'm saying one that you could say on the air.
Yeah, I can tell that. Well, what the hell?
All right,
So,
let's do it.
I'm talking to him on the phone one time, and I was flying into Detroit for a show at the Pals at Albert Hills, and he's gonna pick me up in his maroon Rolls Royce, and he's gonna take me to his rib joint, best ribs in all of Detroit, anywhere, Rick, not just Detroit, anywhere, motherfucker, best ribs anywhere. Okay, picks me up at the airport. We go to the rib place. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. There's not one car in the parking lot. The lights are off. The fucking padlock. There's a big orange tag in the door. The government seized the place for back taxes.
Oh no!
He didn't even know it.
Oh jeez. Oh, you know what? I love the MF, brother, because anyone who knew
Motherfucker, motherfucker didn't pay me.
So anyone who spent a considerable amount of time with Emmanuel understood that MF came out of Emmanuel's mouth every sentence, right?
Right. It's like for an Italian, forget about it. Well, that was just forget about it.
Yep.
Motherfucker.
Forget about it.
Let me tell you something about that golden Jew, Max Kellerman. Man, that motherfucker is lucky I didn't put him through the wall. That motherfucker arguing with me, man, on the air, man. I could have put that motherfucker through the wall. Yep. Everything was MF regarding Emmanuel Stewart. God bless him. Tell you what, Emmanuel, we miss you every day, brother.
One time I called him up, and he knew I was tight with Don King. He says, I just got up to play that motherfucker. I says, motherfucker, what motherfucker? I says, motherfucker Don. I says, oh. Like I was supposed to have a motherfucker, man. Who was that supposed to be? Oh
yeah, yeah, man. Emmanuel was tight with Don as well.
Here's one other story.
Let's hear it, brother.
I'm in Philadelphia. This is like 2001. He's got that Ray Beltran at the time. He was undefeated, blah blah blah. He's fighting. He just, come on, let's go for one of them Philly steak sandwiches. Okay, so we go to the Philly steak sandwich place. Okay, he whips out a $50 bill. There's three of us. We eat. The guy driving me, Emmanuel. I says, Emmanuel. I says, you got shit hanging off your mouth. Some of the cheesesteak was dripping and stuff like that. So he takes a napkin, removes it. Anything else, Rick? I says, no. He says, now take yours off your lip. I was taken down too.
Brother, guys, the majesty of having Rick Glaser live on the air. You're not going to get this anywhere else. Well, it's right in the medulla of Rick Glaser, the incomparable Rick Glaser. Hold on. Uh-oh. Treetop Boxing says, well, I hear Al Heyman is a little light in the loafers.
Oh, man.
Oh, guys.
Should we get Rick's opinion on that?
Guys, don't forget, and Sly has the beat, Guys, please click the like button. Thank you very
Yes.
much. Doesn't cost you a damn thing. Thank you, guys. But once again, we've got a couple more. We only have about 8.5 minutes left with Big Rick Glaser because he's got to see his Yankees pound on the Anaheim Angels tonight. Here we go.
We ain't ducking and dodging nobody. It's time for Fact or Fiction.
All right, Floyd, thank you so much. Number 5, despite the ongoing Twitter negotiations with various fighters, Devin Haney will still be without a major fight heading into the final quarter of 2023 because of his steep, unrealistic demands. Fact or fiction?
So that means what? Past in October 1st? Nah, he'll come up with a fight. He'll sign something by October 1st.
Yeah,
In your mind, who would that be, sir?
I don't know, maybe Regis Prograis for the 140-pound title.
Let's see, 2 non-ticket sellers squaring off in a huge money event. Who on earth would be that stupid to pay for that?
I know a guy.
Eddie Hearn.
And there it is. And there it is. I was waiting for that. Waiting for that.
Oh boy, yeah, we'll call that the tarp fight because they had so many tarps over there in that Smoothie Arena or Regis spot last time. Smoothie King.
So,
yeah.
Number six, G Funky.
All right, number 6. Andy Cruz could beat Frank Martin at 135 pounds right now. Fact or fiction, Rick?
Nah, 2 more fights he will be. Not right now.
Woo, man.
Oh, we're going to blow through these next ones. Number 7, G Funky.
Number 7. David Benavidez will never get a fight with Canelo Alvarez because he talks too much jive through social media outlets.
He probably won't.
Oh, man, I love that. Too much jive. You jive, turkey.
No, man, you jive sucker. Man, you a jive sucker, dog. Man,
all right.
ain't no thing but a chicken wing on a string, sucker.
That's it. Number 8 for Rick. After spending 44 days in the Hooskow, Gervonta Davis will be incarcerated once again by the end of the year. Fact or fiction?
Well, I'm not saying he'll be incarcerated, but he'll probably get arrested again. Yes.
So G Funky, you owe me $1 because we put a wager on this, and I said, yeah, Rick Glaser will say, yeah, he's going to get arrested by the end of the year. Yeah, so I win the bet. I win $1, G Funky. So wait.
And I have a lot of confidence that Tate Davis will be arrested.
So let me ask you this, Big Rick.
Man.
Put your matchmaking cap on, brother. So who would you pair up Gervonta Davis with? Now, seeing that he stays out of trouble, okay, that's a big if. But if he stays out of trouble, who would you pair him up against?
They're probably going to do Isaac Pitbull Cruz. I would say the rematch.
Isaac Cruz.
Yep.
Yeah, that seems like the most lucrative fight on the PBC side for sure. Being that he had a fight with him already, you know.
Yep.
Oh, Chingao. Hold on. Slight Tendency says this. Al Heyman can guess the flavor of a popsicle just by sitting on it. How? Dude, holy shnikes.
Oh,
and
man.
Garrett says, Al Gaiman. Oh, dude. Gee. Ooh, do you think he's enjoying Pride Month? Ooh.
Oh boy, yeah, they're going in on Al. But all right, let's go to number 9 for Rick. Rick,
Number
you ready?
9.
Here we go.
Yep.
Amantes Stantiones will choose Mario Barrios as his voluntary challenger and will be featured on the undercard of Canelo Charlo in September. Fact or fiction?
I don't know. You're asking me something that's hypothetical, but I would say there's a good chance. Yeah.
Well, from what I'm hearing, Big Rick, it's going to be Abel Ramos or Mario Barrios. If you had to choose one as a voluntary for Amantes Staniones.
Mario Burrows.
I say the same. Yeah.
Because obviously they're trying to set up Boots Ennis and Amantes Staniones showdown. That would probably make sense, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there it is, number 10, G Funky.
All right, number 10. Newly number 1 in the WBC, Sandor Martin will upset Regis Prograis to win the WBC Junior Welterweight Championship later this year. Fact or fiction?
No, fiction.
Really?
Yeah, Prograis can get beat, but not by Sandor Martin.
Wow. With his problems being the effective aggressor, you don't see him getting upset.
Not by him, no.
And there it is.
Sandander in the
We have 2 minutes left, brother. We have 2 minutes left. Let's go to number 11, brother.
All right, number 11. After suffering 2 consecutive bogus stoppages, Victor Postal will choose to finally hang up the gloves. Fact or fiction, Rick?
Yeah, he's done.
What did you think of
Absolutely
that stoppage, Big Rick?
It was a good stop.
Really?
Done. Yep.
Wow.
He was done.
Wow. So what do you think of Elvis Rodriguez's progression under the tutelage of Freddie Roach and Marvin Samudio?
I mean, it's all right. It's no big deal. He ain't go anywhere. He's just a guy.
Yeah. And there it is. We on the final one.
Yes,
we're on the final one. Yes,
Number
sir.
12. O'Hara Davies will seemingly outwork current WBA 140 champ Raleigh Romero later this year, but will lose
100%. 100%.
Well, hold on. Listen to the final one.
Okay.
Listen to the entire fact convention.
He will outwork the WBA champ Raleigh Romero later this year, but will lose a very unpopular, controversial decision in Las Vegas, Nevada. Fact or fiction?
I don't know. I hate to talk negative about the situation. Look, it's but nah, he'll beat the shit out of Rolly. He throws too many punches.
Yeah, Rolly looked like dog shit in his last fight too against.
You're being nice. You're being nice by saying he looked like dog shit, brother. Look. And why would you like? Look, old man Ismael Barroso. Once again, what's his name? Dalzim from Street Fighter, right? Look, if you can't beat that guy, 40-year-old Ismael Barroso, does he have any chance, Big Rick, of beating anyone in the top 20 at 140 pounds?
I don't think so.
Nope.
And there's a good question in the chat from Sly. He says,
oh boy,
Rick, your thoughts on Jaime Munguia? You think he'll fight Derevyanchenko or take a fight with Benavidez? I guess he's asking rematch. Will he rematch Derevyanchenko?
He'll probably do a rematch. It was a great fight. Why not?
It was a very good fight. Yeah. What do you think the odds are of Munguia fighting Benavidez? Do you think that's a possibility this year, Rick?
Not this year. No.
Okay.
So when you think of David Benavidez, Rick, what are his options at this point? Because once again, he stated Jaime Munguia, who's going to want A-side money. Dimitri Bivol, who's going to want A-side money. What's going on? Like, who do you think he fights later on this year, sir?
I don't know. You never know. Conventional wisdom doesn't work with PBC. So I don't know.
Yeah. One final question, sir, and then we'll let you go. Jairo Galvez, welcome to the show, sir. He says, "Hey, Rick, whatever happened to Brandon Adams?"
I don't know. He's a middleweight that just fell off the face of the earth. Who knows?
Well, I can tell you. He's currently a sparring partner for Jermell Charlo in his preparation for Canelo Alvarez. How do you like that?
Wow.
Good sparring.
And there it is. You heard it here first, guys.
I see Brandon Adams. I thought of Brian Adams. Look into my eyes.
No, Chingao, dude. Chingao. So, Rick, you did it, brother. You survived Factor Fiction. Congratulations. Round of applause, please.
There it is.
And there it is, Big Rick. So you did it, brother. Any parting shots for our listening audience, sir?
No, you can find me on Twitter at Real Rick Glaser 1, and there's some fake Rick Glaser accounts out there. Mine's verified, and I'll see you guys next Monday night. Okay.
God bless
Sounds
you,
good.
Rick. Thank you for being here, my friend. And guys,
Thanks for having me, guys.
Once again, Big Rick Glaser, round of applause, please.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Good stuff,
always
man.
a treat. Always a treat, brother. You know, my only remorse, my only regret is that we have to blow through that Factor Fiction at the tail end, right? And also, why? You know what? I wish we had more calls for Big Rick, right?
Yeah, first time, man. Let the crowd get comfortable, and they'll call in.
And there it is. Parting shots, G Funky, for this beautiful Monday evening program.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for being here and for supporting the show. And again, don't be afraid to call in, guys. You know, we're not going to bite your head off. Rick is a very approachable guy. You know, he answers the phone if you ever call him. He's got his business line out there. So, yeah, he's a nice guy, man. Call him up. He'll answer anything you got. And especially here, man, on the air, call in. And you know, always hit the like button for Joe and his channel. That helps everything out. And I see Slight Tendency says Nonito gonna be a 3-time champ. Can we get it, Lupe? Can you hit me, Lupe?
Introducing Nonito Donaire.
Oh, that's great.
Even with bronchitis, I still got that one, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. I tell you what, G Funky, thank you for doing all the heavy lifting this evening, brother. And, guys, I promise you, next Monday, I'll be right as rain. I have to warn you guys, though. Tomorrow, I just got a call from Ronnie Shields just before we went live. And, yeah, he's not going to be available tomorrow night as well. His queen just came back into the country from a retreat that she was in. And so it's going to be me and Brother James tomorrow night once again. Guys, please join us tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific for another edition of Real Boxing with Ronnie Shields. Son's the elite level trainer, but it's going to be me and James. Guys, we appreciate you being a part of Warwick Radio. Guys, on behalf of the incomparable Rick Glaser, on behalf of my brother G Funky Boxing, please subscribe, by the way. And guys, I'm Joseph Herron. You've been listening to Warwick Radio. Have a wonderful evening, everybody.
I wanna get out.
Mexico.
FightSaga.com and Halftime Pizza proudly present Real Talk with boxing professional Rick Glaser.